Language Notes, Topic 15, Terms of Endearment.
On February 14th, we celebrate Valentine's Day. In honor of this holiday, I thought we'd have a lesson on terms of endearment. Those are words like honey, baby. They're words of affection, and we use them to address the people we're closest to: a husband, a wife, a boyfriend, a girlfriend, or your children. Every language has its terms of endearment. Some are widely used, and others are a little unusual because they're made up. They're used just between two people. We have a lot of terms of endearment in English, so many that I can't possibly tell you all of them, but I do plan to share many of them, and I have some notes to help me remember. We'll start with a very common one, honey. It can be written two different ways as a term of endearment. We use honey with adults and children, as in, "Hi honey, how was your day?" "Good job honey, I'm so proud of you." A short form, hun, like, "Hun, do you have a second?" Variations, there are a lot of them. Some common ones are hun bun, honey bunny, honey bunch, honey bear, honey pie. Sometimes, especially in the case of honey, you hear a term of endearment in a situation where people are not close, but the situation is informal. For example, in a restaurant, a friendly waitress might say, "Hun, want some more coffee? Or can I get you some more coffee, hun?" You need to be careful. You may hear this, and it can be appropriate in certain situations. My advice is not to use terms of endearment with people you are not familiar and close to, because then it could be taken as a form of disrespect. So be careful. All right, next one, baby. "Hey baby, what's wrong?" We can use it with adults or children. Short form, babe. Variations, baby doll, also doll face, doll, baby cakes. A very common term of endearment, sweetheart, for adults and for children. "Good morning, sweetheart," or "Sweetheart, time for breakfast." Variations, again, like honey, there are a lot of variations. Sweetie pie, sweets, sweet thing, sweet pea, usually for children, sweet lips, for adults. Love, "Hi my love," for adults and for children. Right? You might hear love bug, "My little love bug." Darling, darling. You'll hear a combination, "darling dear," "my darling dear." In some accents or some situations, songs, for example, you'll hear people drop the G, and instead of darling, you'll hear something like darlin'. Dear, dear. You see this word also in messages and letters like "Dear Mr. Smith," "Dear Mrs. Jones," as a form of address, as a greeting in a letter. It has nothing to do with affection. It's actually just a formal, polite way of starting out a letter or a message. But variations for terms of endearment would be "my dear," "my darling dear." You can also hear "dearie," and that could be spelled different ways. But when I think of dearie, I think of some kind elderly woman who maybe is thanking a young person for helping her carry her groceries. Like, "Oh dearie, thank you so much." So not as common. Cutie, cutie pie, cutie patootie, definitely for children. Sunshine, this is one that I use. "Hey sunshine, good morning sunshine. Sunshine, time for school." Sunshine love, "my sunshine love." angel, adults and children. Most of these are for adults or children. Angel, angel love, angel eyes. Okay, this one's probably more so in a romantic relationship. Snookums, my snookums. We have some silly sounding terms of endearment. Snookums would be one of them. And similar one, pookie, could be for kids, but I usually think of that in a love relationship. My snookums, pookie. Another silly word, boo. Not like boo to scare you, but ooh, my boo, my little boo. So terms of endearment can sound silly because they're affectionate. Snookums, pookie, boo. We have many terms of endearment based on the names of animals, usually cute little ones like mouse, kitten. We also have goose, goose, silly goose. Bunny, my bunny. And bear. Although bears are big, we might say cuddly bear, snuggle bear, Pooh Bear. For a girl, you might call her princess. What's wrong, my princess? We have terms of endearment based on good looks. We might use this for our children, for example. Come here, gorgeous. Hey, beautiful. Handsome. I sometimes say, where's my handsome boy? He's getting old, so I have to be careful. I can't be too cute calling my 9-year-old a cutie patootie or my handsome boy. That's not cool anymore. All right, also for kids, munchkin. We have other terms of endearment that end with kin. It sounds cute. Munchkin, pumpkin. Those are the ones that I can recall right now. Also, just like we have terms of endearment based on cute little animals, we have terms of endearment based on sweet things to eat, like cookie, cupcake, muffin. Gosh, there's so many. I think I'll have to end there. But now you get a sense of how many terms of endearment are possible. Listen out for them. You'll hear them in films and TV shows and songs. Maybe you'll hear them said to you.
Now I'd like you to take a very short true-false quiz to check your understanding of how terms of endearment are used. 1. A job applicant begins a letter with, "My dearest Mr. Wilson." This is appropriate in American English. False. "Dear Mr. Wilson" is an appropriate greeting in a business letter, but "my dearest" is only used as an affectionate way of addressing someone. 2. A male boss tells his female receptionist, "Honey, I need 10 copies of this report. Thanks." This is appropriate in American English. False. Honey is generally not an appropriate way for an American boss to address an employee, male or female. 3. A stranger in a store asks a child who is alone, "Honey, are you lost?" This is appropriate in American English. True. A stranger in this situation can address a young child with a common term of endearment, such as honey or sweetheart. However, in general, we're very wary of strangers who do approach children.
I believe there's still one more term of endearment I didn't share with you yet. It's something sweet. Sugar. We can use this for adults or for children. Personally, I don't use it, or I don't use it much. The only example that comes to mind is again that friendly waitress, maybe taking your order. "What can I get you, sugar?" All right, we're going to end by taking the word sugar and putting it in a poem. I want to share a very common poem. In fact, it's so common, it's probably the first love poem that children learn in English. Maybe you know it. It goes like this. Roses are red, violets are blue, sugar is sweet, and so are you. People love to play around with this poem and change the words. We usually keep the first two lines and change the last two. The variations can be funny, they can be cute, they can be romantic. A child might say, roses are red, violets are blue, you look like a monkey and you smell like one too. So you get the idea of how creative you can be. I thought you might like to try this. If you want to create your own poem, try using the Roses Are Red poem. Keep the first two lines and change the last two. Roses are red, violets are blue. How would you end this poem? That's all for now. Thanks for watching and happy studies. And happy Valentine's Day.